Okay, welcome to the Smart Chicks Masterclass series. It's called Building a Community. What's it called? Building a Community full of potential clients who are ready to buy.
Yeah. So whether you're searching for your purpose still, or maybe you're already succeeding at delivering it, but you want to grow to the next level, or maybe you haven't met your personal business expectations yet, then this is the place to be. It's the place to learn to grow an awesome interactive community that's ready to buy from you.
Okay, so who are we? I'm Courts.
I'm Kirsty.
And we actually have a company, Smart Chicks Global, that we have grown to a 2,500 member engaged community. And we've done this in the last 2 years. During that time, we've actually created a global membership, a signature program, and it's all about the importance of becoming an influencer so you can actually use authentic connection and collaboration strategies to get there.
Yeah. So this is the first in the series of 3 masterclass videos, and today we're going to deep dive into why and how collaboration could completely change your business.
Okay, so how do we actually collaborate and grow a list of potential clients? The goal of this workshop is to help you know the critical things you need to know so that you've got a strategy to earn more money.
Yeah.
When you know this, you can actually make a decision of the type of plan you're going to use and go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We always knew we loved authentic connections and collaboration, but we didn't know how to easily utilize these skills so we could make some money. When we first started, we ran some workshops and we were the best cheerleaders ever. We helped so many people to grow their businesses, but we weren't really making a lot of money.
So we wanted to continue doing what we loved to help others, but obviously we needed to be paid for it to be able to continue. We needed to grow our audience and truly know what they wanted. So we found that through quality collaboration, we could reach so much further than we expected, and we could actually develop a formula so we can help you as well.
Yeah. So let's get started. In this video, we're going to focus on collaboration for client attraction.
Let's go! Okay.
So let's talk about collaboration and how it works in this space.
Yeah, so we want to reiterate something that we said before, which was that obviously if you're going to have a successful community full of potential clients, you need to actually totally step up and collaborate.
Yeah,
right?
That's what we believe. You need to have some strategy, and the strategy we've adopted is collaboration.
Yeah. So the next key point, I guess, that we really want to make clear is the fact that in order to do that, we had to, and you will have to become a leader.
Yeah.
And it can be uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
So we
you have
get
to
that.
get a bit uncomfortable being comfortable. Other way around. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
So I'm going to show you something.
Pretty good today.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know if you can see that. I've got my red rash. It's kind of blending in with my blush today. But back in the day, I used to actually take photos of myself when we ran webinars, especially, and send them to Kirsty.
Do you know what? You couldn't even see her during the webinar. Like, we were screen sharing and she was just speaking.
Yeah, and I was so mortified. In fact, I would be so anxious that I'd probably pick fights with my husband and kind of need to go to the toilet 60 times just at the thought of speaking publicly to a community of people. And ironically, it was the community of people that we had started to attract.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, when you attract the right people to you and it's in your own community, it really does become a safe space. So it gives you actually room to grow, to step up into that space.
So we wanted to remind you of a quote by Kenneth Blanchard, which is the key to successful leadership is influence, not authority.
Yeah. And we wanted to kind of go through 5 points that actually explain to you, well, what is a leader? What is leadership?
Okay, so leaders look out for people they are influencing.
Yeah, absolutely. Leaders understand that adding value to others is as important as adding value to themselves.
Leaders, you, know trust should be created before expecting a level of high productivity.
Yeah.
So we need to build this know, like, and trust factor with the people that are in our community, right, before they become a paying client.
That's right. And remember, some people will take a while for that. Some people are not even close to actually needing what you have just yet. But when they are, if they know, like, and trust you, they're actually going to not hesitate to then jump on board quite quickly.
Leaders understand the importance of giving to others. Kirsty and I are very much of the opinion that having an abundance mentality actually brings you more abundance into your own life. So we don't give to receive, but we give knowing that the universe basically has our back.
Yep, absolutely. And leaders are driven by the success of others. So, whatever the problem is that you solve for your client, whether it's a product or a service, the fact that you can watch them go from where they were to where they wanted to get to through what you've been able to help them with is what really gives you a kick.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about collaboration.
Yeah.
Collaboration steps you straight into a leadership role.
So get used to it. It's powerful because you're able to leverage your time and reach more people.
So it allows you to refine your purpose, your direction, and your vision.
Yep. The more you talk to like-minded people that are headed in the same direction as you, the more you will grow and the more your community will grow as well.
When you speak to other influencers, you allow those listening to get to know you, see if they are attracted to you and who you are and what you stand for. So by putting yourself in front of multiple audiences that have a like-minded mentality, I guess, you can find the people that are truly attracted to you.
Yeah. And then you give them the choice to kind of come on board and find out more about you. It's really difficult if you're out kind of in the open world, putting yourself out there. Like, it's hard anyway. But if you're in a space of the right sort of people, it actually gets easier.
So you can get the chance to attract those people to your space, and you can utilize experts in fields that are not your zone of genius. And this is the bit that we want to talk to you about. You have a community or list with a similar profile to where your people hang out, but you're solving a different problem for each other.
That's right. And the beauty of it is that you become edified, like you become an expert, and are looked at as a bit of a influencer in your space because you're the one that's kind of leading the charge.
And we talked about the fact that stepping up and being a leader and collaborating, it's actually not about you. It's about the community. And let me tell you, those communities will be so grateful for the influencers that you have collaborated with, that you've brought into them.
Absolutely, because some of them have problems that you actually can't solve anyway, but you'll be leading the right people to them. So being able to show them where they can go to get the help and the expertise that they need.
So the other thing that happens as well is when you bring someone into the community or collaborate, you build what's called reciprocity, and that builds trust amongst your community, and it also builds reciprocity and trust with the speaker or the collaborator that you've brought in.
Yeah, you'll enable more open communication within your group, which of course will then lead you to being able to understand and know more about what it is that they're looking for, what is it that they need help with.
And it also adds a real flavour to the community that is fun, you're growing together, you're learning together, and it's a joyful place to hang out. And we want to be in joyful places because we know that that attracts more to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's lots of ways you can collaborate, aren't there?
We know.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've done many of them. And like we said, it was kind of our mission to, I guess, test and measure. But look, all of them work. It's not that they won't work. It's just that, like we said before, you can spend a lot of time being busy and not having a lot of growth in your business. And our goal is to have paying clients. Our goal is to create a community of people that at some point in time may want to purchase from us.
So we're going to go through some of the ways that you can collaborate, but then we're going to actually talk about the ones that we think work the best. Okay.
Yep.
So you can build a Facebook community.
Yep.
Now, when you have a Facebook community, you don't own the email addresses.
That's right.
So you've got a community that's all happy, but you don't actually own that list. Facebook owns the list.
Yeah. And hey, that was a big boo-boo for us in the beginning.
Yeah.
We had a business page and we had a community. So we were growing, but we actually didn't have any way to speak directly to them apart from in the Facebook group. So it was a big lesson for us when we got to a point of realizing, okay, we need to make sure we find a way to, find the email address and keep in contact.
So the next thing that you can think about is workshops. So you can have guest speakers that come in. So you collaborate with people that can add value to your community, and together you can bring people to that room to be able to talk to them.
Yeah, that's right. You can have guest mentors online or in a meetup group that come together. You can run challenges with mentors within your community so that they are showing their wares, which is, a big part of the helping everybody.
So something that we personally haven't done is podcasting, but we've been a guest on many podcasts.
Yep.
And that was a way for other people to collaborate with us so that we could spread our message to their community.
Yeah. And it's still a great way for people to get to know you a little bit more that maybe would otherwise not know who you are. You can write a book with guest authors. Like a lot of people write books from themselves, but then a lot of them write them as a joint effort.
Yeah. So like a collaborative author community. You can tell that that's not our zone of genius.
Yeah.
Recording conversations with people.
Yeah. So you might sort of do an interview or just have a conversation and share that with the community that you're building. You might do coffee catch-ups.
Yeah.
We did a few of those.
Yeah. So you can do group coffee catch-ups or one-to-one coffee catch-ups. But again, it can be time-consuming.
Yep. And you can do free education sessions. So whether that's in your community, so like at the local library or, the councils often, so that's a way that you can share your knowledge and expertise. So you're collaborating maybe with local associations.
Yeah. And the other thing that we have done, which you might have seen, is we actually run online interview series, but it's in the form of an online business conference or a business summit.
Yeah.
And so most of these strategies will work.
As we said. Yeah.
Many of them can be a bit of a slow burn
yes
the situation, but the key is to run a business with paying clients. So for us, we really tried to nail a strategy that was not going to be the slow boat to China time wasting strategy. We wanted to make sure that we kind of fast tracked the situation after learning from the ways that didn't really work.
Yeah.
And that's when we kind of settled on the online business conferences particularly, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Remember, the goal is to create paying clients. The goal is to understand what your community needs and wants and to make sure that you're then able to provide it. So what were some of the key things that we found that really did make collaboration on steroids a thing, I think?
Yeah. So the interview series for us worked because it was a form of collaboration on steroids when it's done correctly. So that's the thing. Running interview series without a system or a strategy is very different to actually having a systemized approach to who you're collaborating with and why.
Yep. You have to have a good bit of marketing and stuff in what you're doing and how you're delivering it, because you're really about getting greater exposure for all of the communities that are involved. It's not just the collaborative effort and expertise of the main speakers, but it's the fact that they all have communities and a lot of your ideal people are hanging in a lot of those communities.
Yeah, and we actually found that giving a freebie from the speaker was good just to be able to get to know their work as well, and it enabled that reciprocity that we were talking about.
Yeah, their community and client base grew because people from our community or the other communities discovered other experts in an area they maybe needed, so they'd sign up for their freebie. We had a lot of speakers that got great new clients that came even directly out of our community. Yeah.
So they all share the interview series. This is one of the things that we talk about, and it helps you to reach more people so that you're basically having a collaborative approach where you're reaching the combined communities to get to add value to the most amount of people.
Yeah, it's the best way to build, using collaboration, momentum in, the reach, the excitement, the energy. You're then going to, in a short space of time, grow 50, 100, 200, 500, depending on, who the experts are you have and how you go about doing it.
So the people that opt into the series will actually start to get to know you really well because you're at the forefront of the series, right? Interviewing people.
Yeah, that's right. You're the one that's in every interview, and the others are getting a taste of all of the speakers as well. You're then able to have conversations with them to find out exactly what sorts of things that they need help with. And to top that off, when they actually tell you what it is they need or where they're at and where they want to be, you actually get all the copy that you need to be able to speak directly to more people that feel the same as them.
So, voila!
Yeah, you've started a new community.
A new community has happened.
Yeah.
So, or the community that you've got is being refreshed, or it's growing, and you have an email list, guys, instead of just a community that maybe Eventbrite owns.
That's right.
Or Facebook owns, or Meetup owns.
Yeah, and you've got a strong referral team because the more experts that you collaborate with, the more, influencers in their regions, the more people that you can then direct people to. And guess what? It's reciprocated. They'll do exactly the same back to you. Now, we know that some of you already have a community and you've been working on it and organically growing it. Some of you don't have a community yet. And the whole concept of trying to create one is really daunting. And yeah, our chosen space to really communicate is the Facebook world, like to have a Facebook community.
Yeah. So I think what comes up for people is the fact that they don't feel like they've got the energy to actually maintain a community, particularly in the social media space.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So we want to just point out to you, in case it's not obvious, that the social media space is just one way that you can have a community. So people have communities through YouTube, people have communities through Facebook, people have communities through
Instagram,
Meetup, but
just email.
And the most important thing that we just want to get across to you is no matter where you're hosting your community, whether it's any of those places or just purely within your email, the point is that you want to actually convert people to that email list simultaneously with any other community that you choose to run.
Yeah, whatever the way is that really fits well for you that you can step into, it still might be stepping outside of your comfort zone. But, if it's blogs, you still need to create an email list and you still need to be able to send those people to where it is that you're educating and putting out information.
So the other thing that people find is that they don't know what to talk about. So you might be feeling like, who would listen to me? I don't really know what I would even talk about. And the thing that people don't realize is when you've got an area that is your zone of genius, that you just naturally know, it's really easy for you, you think that everyone else knows what you know, but they don't.
No. In fact, what we've found is the areas that are easiest for us, so really our zone of genius, are the areas that other people, they can't even imagine how you do or say or speak or whatever the area is that, that you speak in or can help people with. So to actually step up and talk about the things that don't feel like they're lessons or educational is a big step, but you can do it.
So the other thing as well is that you might be feeling like you don't even need a community. It's like, why do I need a community? Why would I bother doing that? So what do we say for that?
Well, I think at the end of the day, business is business. You want to be making money. You need to have enough people prepared to pay you some money for you to solve their problem. And you've either got a lot of money behind you, and then you can use other marketing methods. You can be putting money into ads on television or in the radio, or on the radio, or in newspapers or in magazines, whatever it is. But if you don't have a way to do it like that and you're on a bit of a leaner budget, you need to find a way that's going to work and something that's not going to take too long to reach that place.
And the way that society is heading is that even though we have social media and we're more connected than ever, it's actually, like we talked about at the beginning, people are feeling more isolated than ever as well. And it's about creating conversations and actual know, like, and trust factor with people these days before they're going to even think about making a sale with you. So a community basically gets you to the point where you can actually have that conversation on a regular basis. Now, the reason why we chose Facebook and email and workshops, a bit of a hybrid approach, is that people can be like a pick and mix and they can choose what resonates for them. But it enables us to basically get in front of people for free, like a blog, but it's just a slightly different method. So again, you've just got to work out what feels good for you, but understand the purpose behind having that community around you.
Yeah. And also realizing that the experts that are out there that you're speaking to and working with, they are there to help you and you can step up to help them. Now, you might feel afraid to reach out to people that are above you. You might think, oh, why would they listen to me? But we guarantee you'll be surprised at the people that will say, yeah, sure, or I'd love to have a coffee, or how can I help you? Because people that have the right sort of mindset, the same sort of mindset as you, are the people that you want to align with anyway.
And this is where it comes down to the abundance mentality as well that we touched on earlier. If you are collaborating with people for the sole purpose of getting from them, they will feel that. But if you are genuinely collaborating with people for the purpose of understanding where the gaps are in your business and their business and how you can come together to add value to each other's communities, they will also feel that. And that's a positive thing.
Yeah, that's right. If you want something different in this world, you need to do something different to the rest of the world.
So I guess this brings us to the challenge or the task that's very simple that we wanted you to think about moving into the next masterclass series. So that task is actually, can you write down the skills and the amazing value that you give to your community, but then, or even the community that doesn't exist yet, but then also think about where the gaps are in your knowledge, because what's going to happen is you're going to start realizing that you can start finding people that will fill those gaps.
Yeah. So put them down and make sure that you either add them onto the Facebook group, like in the comment section, or email us back. We would love to know. It gives us an opportunity to get to know you so that we can refer you as well.
support@smartchicks.com.au or the Smart Chicks Coterie, but email us. We will personally email you back to high five you.
We sure will. Thanks, guys. And
so, Masterclass 2.
Right. So now we're really looking at who is your ideal client? Who are the people that you want to be able to be working with, and how can you consistently attract them to you?
So we look forward to Masterclass 2. And in the meantime, please email us. We can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah. Bye.